always be assertive. Don't shy away from an opportunity if you don't think that you have all the capabilities. If it's something you're passionate about, go for it. Put yourself out there. Take the risks. In your 20s, your opportunities are boundless.
We're still wanting to go out, have a good time, but still take care of our day-to-day responsibilities. How do we find that work hard, play hard balance in our 20s?
The work hard, play hard, it's like, go party, go crazy, but set your boundaries. My parents used to say everything in moderation is good. When you're in your 20s, I don't think there's such a thing as moderation. I think it's just go for it, because you'll regret it later if you didn't put forth go after every opportunity you could when you were in your 20s.
Failure in your 20s, nobody's really going to hold that against you. It's going to provide such great learning. It's such a good time to go out there and experiment and try new things and take some risks. That is absolutely what I would tell young people, and it's really something I wish someone had kind of continually. Now that you're in your 20s, you can look at a 16-year-old and be like, oh, kid, no. you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Get that varied experience. Try different things, meet different people, do different stuff, and just learn and just figure it out and see, what you like, what you don't like, how does it work. Now that you do have your own money and independence and so on and so forth.
Your network is your net worth. So you really need to surround yourself with people who can help change your life and motivate you to do it.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But then you also never know. Like I said, you can't look at somebody and say, oh, they're the smartest kid in the class and they're I'm going to make sure I'm friends with that person. It's the people you least expect. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you as a reflection of looking back 20 years ago, a lot of the people that I thought, oh, they're the class, they're the class star, they're the valedictorian, they're going to be the one that I need to know, they're going to be the millionaire of the future. It's not always those people. It's people that that often get overlooked, and those are the ones that have that fire in them, say, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. So I never imagined what the people that I knew from high school and college would do for my life, and I just didn't know that then. But imagine if I would have been a mean girl back then, or if I would have left a bad taste in their mouth. That carries over.
So can you talk to us about persistence? How do you remain resilient, when you hear the no's in your 20s?
When people tell you no, it could be discouraging if you don't have it within yourself why you're actually doing it and why you're the best person to do it. I mean, I've been told all of my ideas weren't good because it wasn't good to that particular person, and that's fine. I use the example of like a business that really got popular called a Snuggie. It literally was a blanket with sleeves. I thought it was the dumbest shit that I ever seen in my life, but they made millions of dollars. So someone said, I think blankets should have sleeves. And someone definitely said, that's so dumb. So that proves, and many other things that some of us may not think are good ideas, that there's a market for everything. You just have to tap into it.
If you're thinking about it, you should really dig into looking to do it. And there's a couple reasons. One is the amount of diversity of experiences you're going to gain, decision-making, problem solving. You will know you did that work. People will pay $60,000, $80,000 for graduate school a year, but then they seem reticent to put $150,000 into a 1 or 2 year startup for themselves because it's a different type of education. Because the experiences you're going to have when you show up to an interview later are the experiences most employers are looking for. Bigger companies or medium-sized companies are always looking for people who can be in small groups, work in teams, be flexible, handle challenges, and get things solved. If you really want to do something like that, you should really figure out reasons why. There's always a reason not to do it. You should figure out the reasons.
If there is someone who doesn't necessarily know what they want to do yet, do you have any advice for that type of student?
I think it's so common. I mean, how the heck can you know yourself at 20? I think the thing that I find is if you're in the college environment still, then I recommend taking all sorts of different classes within reason, because I always say college is a place you find out things you don't want to do. You know, you go sit in a class and you talk to people doing that, and you say, wow, that just isn't me. I can't see myself doing that. That's how I discovered I didn't want to be a doctor or research person, because I met people doing that. I was thinking, I don't want to do that. So if you're still in college, use your alumni network, talk to people 10, 15 minutes. Most people will give you, from your same university or college, 10 or 15 minutes to talk about themselves. People love talking about themselves. And from that, you can learn.
Obviously, you can't make anyone change unless you decide to change yourself. But I think a mentor is any person where people love you. People who love other people would be good mentors, because they would always want to make sure that, you know, they are talking about things that are helpful for you. You can be successful. So I think any person who has that characteristic of love, positive energy, I think in the 20s is really important to understand. If you don't have a plan in place, and if you're not committed and you're not disciplined, it's easy to get distracted. So I was studying, I was working, and then I ended up doing 3 masters in Chicago. There are a lot of distractions when you're in your 20s. You just need to have deadlines. And if you don't commit to deadlines, then you...
He said, oh yeah, lots happened since I talked to you. James Cameron is now an executive producer. Arnold Schwarzenegger's on board. He just starts listing all these people. And we became friends in our 20s. You know, this is a great example of the little bit of time we could carve out that was just personal time, that wasn't the grind of being an intern. We did. We would have barbecues on the roof of the hospital when we had a few downtime hours. We would just do wacky, fun things to just catch a little bit of fun and stay kind of human in the grind of it all.